Hi guys, how's it going? Sorry I couldn't be there. I'm at a conference right now, but I decided to try to leave you a lesson like this, which I'm going to try to do from time to time. So what we're going to do today is something that you're already familiar with. We're going to try to remember how to use the quadratic formula, and we're going to work with some quadratic equations. Okay? So our goal for today is solving quadratic equations. Okay, so let's do a couple of examples. First, we want to solve and simplify the answer to 3x squared minus 4x plus 1 plus 2 is equal to 1. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is remember we want to have a 0 over here. Okay, so we want to take this and we want to rewrite it so that it says 3x squared minus 4x, and now I want to subtract 1 from both sides because I want a 0 there, right? So I want plus 2 minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so I have 3x squared minus 4x plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, and now I can try to use the quadratic formula for this, or I can maybe try to factor it. Right, so I'm not sure if it's going to factor. Let's check. Okay, remember these two things are going to have to be 1s. Okay, and these two things are going to have to be 3x and x because we really have no other choice. Okay, now these ones have to multiply to positive 1, but somehow things have to add to negative, so I'm guessing that both have to be negative, right? So let's check if that works. 3x times negative 1 is negative 3. Negative 1 times x is negative 4. So this actually works. Okay, so that works, which then means that either that is equal to 0, so 3x minus 1 is 0, which means 3x is 1, which means x is 1/3, or this part right here is 0, which means that x is 1. Okay, so those are our two solutions. Okay, so x equals 1 or x equals 1/3. Okay, so let's try another one. What about y minus 6 over 2 is equal to y squared? Okay, well, this guy right here is a problem. Okay, we never ever want fractions. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're always gonna multiply out the fraction. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna multiply by 2 on both sides. Remember, whatever I do on both sides of the equation is okay. So then what's gonna happen is that 2 and that 2 cancel out, and now I can continue with y minus 6 is equal to 2y squared. Right? Now again, I want to push everything to one side so I can use my quadratic formula or factor. So I'll get minus y plus 6. And this time, I'm not really sure if things are going to factor, but let's use the quadratic formula just so we remember how to use it. Okay, but if we can factor, we're allowed to factor also. Okay, so using the quadratic formula, we get y is equal to negative b. Remember, a is right there, so 2. B is right there, so negative 1. And c is that guy right there, so 6. Okay, so y is equal to negative b, so negative 1, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Okay, so b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, so now let's simplify that. So we get negative 1 is positive 1, plus or minus the square root of 1 minus 4 times 2 times 6 is 48. Okay, so 1 minus 48 means negative 47 over 4, right? Which means that it's 1 plus or minus 47. We can't really simplify, but we can say that that negative can come out and become I roots of 47 over 4. Okay? And that's it. We're done. Okay? So, lessons from this. If you can factor, factor. If you don't want to factor, use the quadratic formula. But if you have fractions, get rid of your fractions. Okay? Simplify it so that A, B, and C aren't fractions. Okay? So there's your homework for the day. Okay? And I will see you guys soon. Okay?